Greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl, yo. I'm finally here, y'all. I'm here. Come on in. Come on in. I know some people and stuff are live right now. I really want to apologize about being late. But listen, y'all. Listen. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. We're going to chit chat about the topic in a little bit. But I got to just tell y'all, listen. It's been a hell of a day. And this computer been acting crazy. And so it took me a minute to get straight. If y'all hear any noise and stuff like that in the background, it's gonna be my pooches, honey. They've been showing their little cusses all evening, and so they in here with me. And a lot going on in the house, in my house, in the other part of the house. So look, I'm gonna give y'all some time to come on in. Listen, I'm gonna be talking about Daddy's home, right? And before I do that, I'm gonna bring Miss Akimi up because me and her been talking for a while. And we're gonna be just listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something else too. I poured me a shooter. That's what the kind of day it's been. So I poured a shooter. So look, let me drop this link and get my Shirley up here because I'm telling you, woo boy, Laverne been having a day. Okay, hang on one second. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. Hold on, I'm gonna tell her when she come up. I'll wait till she come up, y'all. This is gonna be a trip. I hope y'all got something to sip on because I'm telling you, I needed something to sip on today. Come on in. Come on, y'all. Don't be midnight. But I'm not gonna rush this live. I'm not gonna do it. So I dropped the link, y'all. Oh, and please come in here. Tap that little like button and all that kind of stuff. Y'all know what to do. But look at here. Who Jesus? Listen. So I want to touch on this subject because I was thinking about as being a little girl and how it was when my dad was at home because I grew up with my mom and dad living in the same house, right? So and when my daddy came home, shoot, everybody straightened up because he had all these rules with him. Like you had to do rules. You had to follow rules. You couldn't be like Buck Wild. But with mom, we had a lot of leeway. So I was speaking to Miss Akimi one day, and I was saying it has to be complicated for single moms to have children and stuff like that, and the father not be in the house. And then when the father do come home, sometimes the father might want to change the rules and stuff like that because mom's been getting away with a lot of stuff, or the kids been kind of like, yeah, sure, Miss Akimi. She said, give her a second. But yeah, you know how when mama raised the children, we can do all kinds of stuff. We can show off. My mama used to let us do all kinds of stuff. But when dad came, it was like more law and order. So by me thinking about that, I'm thinking, well, how is it with single parents? And then when the dad come, part-time fathers, and I don't want to say part-time fathers like to make it sound bad, but sometimes you have situations where the dad can't be at home all the time, or they might have a problem in relationships. Listen to my dog trying to show her ass already. I told you it's been one of those days. She gonna try to show off, honey. Listen. And so he'll come in and try to make rule changes. And I want to know, how does that work with that single parent? Do y'all have problems with that, with the kids, with the dad and stuff coming in and changing the rules when the kids, when he come home? But she said, give her a second. But look, y'all, I want let me tell y'all about this too before she come, Miss Akimi come. So y'all know the last time I was on here, I think I was telling y'all, I don't know if I told y'all or not, about my brother. And they had two different types of surgery they wanted to do on him, that he had to make up his mind. Well, anyway, we went to take him to the doctor, the first one. When I told you they run that tube up into his liver, go through his groin and go up. Well, they did that on him the other day. So I'm there with him, crack of dawn. It was 6 o'clock in the morning to be exact, and he come away from until 2 o'clock. But come to find out, y'all, they can't even do that. They can't do that surgery on him that way because they don't think they're gonna be able to get enough out of him and stuff. So he's gonna have to have that major surgery where they cut a wire in your body, pretty much, and to get that done. So that's coming up pretty soon. So it's just been a lot of stuff going on, which makes it hard for me to come on here and talk to y'all because I have so much in my personal life going on. You know, it's just hard. It's just not enough of me to go around, right? Do y'all hear my dog? Y'all hear her? She's showing her ass already. I see Shirley. Shirley! Hold on, I'm gonna add Mr. Kiwi. Suki, you're gonna have to cut it out for real. Stop that. For real though. You see, I can't see you, Mr. Kimmy. Where you at? I can't see you.
I don't know. Can you add me? Hold on. Oh, here we
I,
go.
I,
We're gonna have to do something with these settings because I can't. You gonna have? Can you add me to the stage?
I did. I added you. I added you, and if I hit it again, it's gonna say remove you.
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Letha, how you doing, baby? Girl, listen, Miss Letha, listen.
What
Girl,
the heck?
there you go.
Okay,
I see you now. Hey,
what's going on, Laverne?
Shirley, hell.
I'm here. I'm here.
Wow.
Ooh, child.
It's,
Listen.
it's been so much
You
going
know,
on.
I've been my day, my computer stuff been so smooth for the most part. As soon as I go to try to attach you, I'm telling you the devil is a liar. He is a
Look,
liar today. You can get ready to mess me up.
well, I caught hell because when I get off this computer, every time I go on this computer and do a live stream, listen, I'll cut it right on off and put it over in the corner and I don't mess with it anymore until I'm getting ready to do another live stream. So it's been down for a minute. So this time, so I'm gonna tell everybody else what I told you, Mr. Kimmett, so everybody know what happened. What had happened was, so look, y'all, I'm out and about all day. And so when I came back in, me and hubby come in, I was like, I turned the television on YouTube, and Missy Kima was live. She was live streamed, and she was talking about breathing, the importance of breathing. Like a meditation, and so I was like, "Oh, Missy Kima live." I said, "Let me jump on my girl panel." So I took this computer. Now I froze. Okay, so I took this computer and I opened it up. I pushed the little thing, and I'm trying to get up on her little on the jiggle bob, and so it finally came up. Next thing I know, I heard her music, ding, 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 like it's going on. And she was, I was like, damn, she going. I said, let me call Shirley. So I took and called her, and I was like, Miss Kimmy, I was trying to jump up on your live stream, right? And she went off. But anyway, so that was the first problem. That was the first problem that I had. So anyway, I told her that I was gonna go live and we're gonna talk some more. So now, while we here, but
I've
anyway,
been hanging around you too long. I was like, okay, so nobody else want to hit the link. All right, deuces. No.
yeah, we'll cut it off in a minute, won't I? I'll get off here in a minute. Yeah, but I said I might as well just go ahead and go live and just talk about what we wanted to talk about before. So
Mhm.
now let's bring it on home. Now let's bring it on around. Bring it on around. Okay. So first of all, I hope you guys are getting some of this sip. I told you I got me one of these, and I purposely put it in a plastic cup instead of a glass cup. I did it on purpose. I want to be real niggerish because that's how I feel. Because it's been a hell of a week, a hell of a day. I'm just saying, right? So, so, so listen. So, Mr. Keeman, let's get okay. So, how are you? Let me get you. How are you doing?
I'm well. I am well. I look, I'm breathing. I'm breathing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm breathing. All is well.
Ooh,
I can't listen. Listen.
yes.
I'm interested to see your take on this daddy's home situation because I think a lot of us deal with this on a day-to-day basis,
Hmm.
especially with the culture that we live in and all of these mamas, these single mamas raising these kids, and then you got
Yeah.
the daddies
Right.
coming in for those that are able to juxtapose co-parenting, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
To have a decent enough relationship so you can encourage and be a part of supporting
Hmm.
the relationship between both of the people that gave each children life.
Yeah, and see, and this is how I feel about this part of this. It's like, listen, so of course I told y'all I grew up with my mom and dad in the house, right? And
Mhm.
so he was active as much as he could be in raising us when it came down to putting the laws and stuff down. Hey, Salaya, how you doing? Salaya Binya.
Salute to the
Thanks for
chat.
coming.
Salute to the chat.
Yeah. He so yeah, he was a lawmaker, right? But he was a worker, and so mom worked too. So, but this is what I don't think that I would be able to handle if I didn't have, because my husband and I are together, of course, with the kids, and we both co-parent with the children. So, what I wouldn't be able to handle or is that say if a father is out of the house, although he's active as far as paying, he may be giving the child support. He might be doing financial stuff with the child, right? And all of
Mhm.
that, which is good. But he's not physically there, right? Now, supposing that the mom and the dad, decide to get back together, and the dad wants to come back to the house, even for temporary, right? With these children that he's been paying for all of this time, the mom already have her rules and stuff in her house in place, and the children are abiding by her rules, and everything is fine. But he wants to step in now, and he wants to now start laying down rules because daddy's home, right? So for me, I don't know if I would be able to adjust to that, and I don't think that the children would be able to adjust to that quickly or easily because they have been missing out of their lives physically. I'm not talking about just the phone calls that they give them. I ain't talking about the birthdays and stuff like that. I'm talking about dad being there all the time. And for them to be missing and come home, it's not cool, in my opinion, for them to be able to do these rule things. I think it need to be a conversation between the mom and the dad before that even happens to get things set. Hey, everybody. Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Kimi, about that part?
I agree. I also believe, like in addition to that, I want to add that I also think it could be on a case by case basis. Yeah, I
Okay.
think it could be like when the father returns home,
Hmm.
how invested he is into developing or maturing the relationship between him and the children, how
Hmm.
he communicates with the mom, how he shows respect, and how they have an understanding on boundaries, right? Now, I
Mm.
do believe, like, okay, so I think there should be a level of acknowledgement and respect when it comes to the father returning towards the mom, since
Mhm.
she's been the provider, she's been the nurturer, she's been holding everything down,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so there has to be a gradual, there has to be a respect, and then there
Yeah.
has to be a mutual understanding that this is, and a conversation between the parents before all of this happens in front of the children, so that
Yeah.
you don't become confused. You got mom and daddy
Yeah.
confused. They
Uh-huh.
haven't established the boundaries. They don't really know how the other one is viewing the return of the dad or the presence of the father in the home. So
Right.
I think, I think there's a lot of different moving parts to this whole thing. I don't think there's a one answer or one ply toilet tissue answer to the whole
Yeah.
situation. But
Hmm.
overall, like collectively, I absolutely agree with you. I think there's a sense of awkwardness that could take place
Oh, for
initially
sure.
to be
Yeah. Because,
expected, right?
hmm
But I think
hmm
it could be worked through as long, because the children are going to watch first what the dynamic between the parents are. Even if he's only there temporarily, they're still going to look at how the parents are interacting with one another, because they're going to feed off of that.
Yeah, but one thing I think about is a man and the characteristics of a man. A
Okay.
man is not going to, not a father, not a man.
Hmm.
He's not going to come in to a household and not feel as though entitled when it comes to making rules and setting laws. Now,
Okay.
you might get a beta male
Hmm.
that'll step back, but if you have an alpha male, I believe you're gonna have problems with that. And like
I
you said, it's
agree.
case by cases, but most alpha males are not gonna come into no household and have children or a child in that household, even though he's been missing, although
Hmm.
he's been paying child support and calling on the phone or birthdays or whatever. He is going to want to be the lawmaker, and that means that that mom gonna really have to be submissive and subdued. She's gonna really have to bow down and see. And I think that there's a lot of queens, black women, that's been
Hmm.
strong for so long, single mamas for so long, taking care of her own, that she'll have a problem listening to what a man has to say to her and then being able to submit to him.
That's
And
real life.
that's going to be a problem.
That's real life. I agree with that 100%. But that's
Yeah.
why, like I said, I think it depends on the situation. Like
Yeah.
you said, alpha. But there's a big difference between an alpha and a beta male.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you're right. Alphas, they're not going to. It's not going to be a compromise like it is with a beta male.
No, not at all. Hey, riders. Yeah, it's not.
Salute,
It's
everybody.
yeah, hey, everybody. It's definitely gonna be a problem. So, and I'm saying all of that to say this too, pretty much. Well, you must have fell down, Mr. Kimmy.
I'm good. I got you.
Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
I say all of that to say what? I forgot what I was gonna say.
My bad.
No,
My
no,
bad.
no,
He was
no.
talking about alpha males and
Yeah.
how
Hmm.
it's going to be an issue
Yeah,
between
yeah.
the mother
Oh,
and the father.
got it. Okay, so when we talking about this topic, this means that the single moms, when their dad's out of the life of the children, or they're not physically present, this means that the mom shouldn't be talking bad about the father to the children at all, because you never know when those tides may turn. A person may have the male may have a change of heart, and you, mama, may have a change of heart too, and may be able to salvage your relationship with the man, with your child's father. So that's why it's also important for you not to badmouth them. Because you know how we do as women. We have our days when we can kind of like go a little overboard, when we get irritated or upset. Um, and when it comes to our little babies, our little cubs, right?
Yes. Well,
So
okay. So I think there's a fine line. Now, I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm not
yeah.
debating or bucking up against your point. But what I'm saying, I just want to add to that too, is that real life does happen, but as
Hmm.
mothers we have to be mindful that we don't go in it with the intention of besmirching or making the dad look bad to the kids.
Yeah.
Like if the dad is really not fulfilling his obligations, whether he's in the home or outside of the home, there's going to be frustration.
Yeah.
And it could go both ways. I'm not just,
Hmm.
isolating it to the mom and then the dad coming in. I'm just saying that it can work both ways, but we're expressive and emotional beings, so we tend to be more vocal than
Yeah.
men, right? Alpha men. But
Hmm.
my thing is you got to keep it real. But we as mothers, like you said, that just goes to show that we need to be extra intentional and mindful
Yeah.
that of what we say. Words have power, and
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm not speaking. I've been fortunate enough to where I did not do this with my children,
Hmm.
um, but I have seen the end result of mothers that have done it, and it
Yeah. Me too.
often backfires up
Hmm.
against the mom. So
Yeah.
once the children grow up,
Hmm.
they end up resenting the mother
They do. They
and
do.
clinging closer to the
Hmm.
father. And so, how did that work out for you?
I've seen that happen too. But mama talk bad about the dad, and then yeah, the kids don't wind up not even speaking to the mom. But this is
Yes.
another thing I want to talk about too. Now, I never understood how people could come up with the child support amount. And let me tell you why. Because financially, even if the man has the money to pay payments for that child or children, right? And not be there, when you have the mom there all the time, even though in between her working, she's physically there. So she's
Mhm.
going through all of the changes that she see in her child as they grow, or their children as they grow, right?
Mhm.
Which means most of the time the father is missing out on that stuff.
Mhm.
So and just me knowing how much it takes to nurture plants, and they're not even human beings, but you have to be delicate with different types of plants. Well, you have children with different types of emotions, like plants, that you have to be delicate with. You can't give too much water. You can't give too much nurture. Some of them can grow on their own. You don't really have to do nothing to it. Just watch it and make sure it don't get too much sun. And I'm saying all this as like the children, right? That's a lot of paying attention and being attentive to,
Mhm.
which takes a lot from a mom. Now that's in between that working and all that other stuff and running the household and all of this. So how can a court of justice come up with the amount of money to pay one for these things? To me, it's priceless,
Mhm.
right? It's priceless. I believe that you just have to be physically there, both parties, in some form or fashion, even if it's nothing but once a month. You know what I'm saying? You have to be present. Am I wrong?
No, you're not in an idealistic situation, but that's not kind of what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of parents not being able to put their personal differences aside and put the
Yeah,
children first to
yeah.
co-parent. So when you have the dissension
Them.
or the unraveling of the family structure,
Mm-hmm.
well, everybody's separate, the mamas are not going to be able to do it alone. Now, do I agree with I think it's an open-ended kind of situation because you're not going to be able, the courts aren't going to be able to tailor make it for each situation. So they have to
Hmm.
put a system that is kind of um structured across the board, right? And
Yeah,
it's
that's
broken.
crazy.
It's
Yeah,
broken.
that's crazy.
Now,
Yeah.
this is what I do believe, and I know this is along the topic, but kind of sort of veering off a little bit.
Hmm.
I truly, truly, truly support, and I think we need a serious reform when it comes to the child support system, if it is to stay in place at all, since we can't seem to do it on our own, and the system seems to feel like there's a need to come and convene and intervene into the household. But we need DNA tests when babies are
All
born.
day, all
All
day,
that.
all day. I believe
We
that.
passed
Mm.
this. Look at all of the women that are having these babies with the
Yeah,
Jennings when they're
yeah.
going and trapping people, trapping men, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them for lifestyles to be funded when it's
Yeah.
not about the child at all. There should be a required DNA test at the birth before anybody's name is entered onto the birth certificate.
And what I don't understand is this. This is what I don't understand. It always baffled me. If you have a grown man and a grown woman, supposed to be matured,
Mhm.
and they can talk about all kinds of things, but they talk mostly when they have sex. They didn't have a problem getting together. It wasn't an agreement on I'm gonna pay you this much if you get pregnant, and we have our baby. They don't talk about none of that. I'm talking about both parties, the man and the female, because the female is just as guilty as the man, because it takes two to make a child, right?
Right.
So if you can agree to have sex with a man, or man have sex with a woman, and y'all come up with a child, why is it so hard for you all to come up with an agreement on how y'all gonna raise that baby or those children?
How many people do you know that actually talk about that before they procreate?
Very few. Because why? They haven't been taught to do so.
Very
That's
true.
that's why I always stress, and I don't know how many times I don't say this on this jigamabob, have a contract with the person that you with. And I even told y'all when I eloped to be with my husband and I knew I was gonna be married to him, I did not have sex with this man until he married me. And that was that day. And but I guess it's the way that and I know everybody's have different backgrounds on the way they was raised and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. But to me, once you know better, you do better. And I know people make mistakes. I understand all of that. But how many mistakes do you make? Because baby number one could have been a mistake. So you say. Well, then why do you have baby number two, baby number three, whether it be by the same man or a different man? How many
Mhm.
mistakes can you make before you correct a mistake? And one thing you have to remember too, when you make a mistake, it's not only just your so-called mistake,
Come on.
becomes a problem for the children in the long run. It may not be when they're little, but when they get older, it's going to be some kind of behavior or some kind of something that they're going to be going through because of your mistake, mom and dad. That's why it's important for us to, do better when it comes to that. What's that say, Mr. Kimmy?
Salaya says, which is why these types of platforms are important to help our people to rethink themselves.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Celaya. I appreciate that. But you know what's funny to me? It's only 10 people in this thing right here. And this is what I like, y'all. Y'all have to understand this. A
Yep.
lot of people go by the numbers because numbers is what get you the money and all this kind of stuff like this. But for me, if it's only one person that
Yes.
hears what I'm saying and don't make the so-called mistake or whatever topic that I'm talking about. But if they don't, if that one person can apply just a little something, or even if you don't apply it to your life, if it's something that I say that you may have in your head and you may think about, you might not do it, but you may think about it. I feel like I still made an effect on you. And who am I? Am I God? No, I'm just an old lady that's 62 years old, that's seen life, that's seen different people in situations in life that I can speak on. Sometimes I've been in a situation, right? And when I see that things don't work for others, don't think that I'm talking about not more than one person now, because sometimes um, it may be one thing that don't work, but something else. But I'm talking about if it's a lot of people, and I'm talking about not just black people, not just white people. I'm talking about all kinds of people because I've traveled this world, and I'm telling you, mistakes are universal.
Yes.
It's universal, regardless of what color you are, right? So I'm just saying, if you know what I mean, Mr. Kiwi?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. You
So
preaching.
yeah, so it's all good. So fear not for the ones that feel like you're alone. Because sometimes being alone is the best. You're alone, or you're by yourself, or you're not in the in crowd, or you're not in the group of people, or you don't follow the group, or whatever like that. Because sometimes you need to stand by yourself so that you can hear things, like the 9 people in here, right? You're not a part of the group. You can catch it later, cool. But I'm glad you're here, right?
Yeah.
Bushwhackers and all. Because I even know out of the 9 people, all 9 people are not subscribed to me, nor Mr. Key.
Mhm.
I know that because I can feel you, right?
Mhm.
But I'm glad you're listening. And hopefully you can apply that to your life or somebody that you love, their lives. Okay?
Yes, I was
Back
gonna say each
yeah.
one teach one, even if it don't apply to you.
Yeah.
We all know somebody that could benefit from this type of information because somebody wasn't taught or it wasn't modeled for them.
Yeah.
Boy, people come from all different. It was a reminder for me when I was having a discussion with my youngest son not too long ago, and he said, because like now he's getting older, so he's going around to some of his friends' house. He got his
Yeah.
little friend girl with her family, which is a great, great extension of an example of what he can aspire, in his relationship
Yeah.
between her parents being together. They're an interactive family, right? My
Yeah.
point being is, he said to me, he said, Mom, he said, I never realized how good I had it until I started going to some of my homeboys' houses and seeing
Mm-hmm.
how they, because of course at school it's a whole different picture. It's a whole different
Yeah.
environment. Even though
Yeah.
they'll act out with their behaviors, you're gonna learn something about people's home life at school if you spend enough time with them. But it ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing like being in their environment, right? And
Yeah.
he said, you don't. He said, you and dad, y'all, the fact that y'all co-parent and y'all work
Mm-hmm.
together for my good. He said, I don't feel so much of that single parent household
Right.
just
Oh, that's a
because we
beautiful
don't
thing.
live together, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like, my point being with saying all of that is to say that a lot of people just don't get that type of environment, or none of those
Yeah.
types of examples are set. They're not taught that, so they go with what they're taught. And a lot
Yeah.
of homes are
Yeah.
very dysfunctional. A lot of homes are very separated. A lot of homes
Mm-hmm.
are lacking communication. A lot of people don't even know how to communicate, something that's so important and vital, but yet and still they don't have the tools to know how to do it effectively.
And that's that generational curse.
Yes.
That become that generational curse.
Disconnect, for sure.
Yeah, it goes on and on. But I also look at this too. Now, I still can't understand this either. Now I understand that people have children out of wedlock. That's what they used to call it. Remember how they say that out of wedlock or whatever. But what I don't understand is, and I know that the two, like the mom and the dad, could be upset with each other and have problems with one another and stuff like that, can't get along, and they choose to separate. That's not the problem. To me, the problems become when the mom and the dad can't communicate enough to be able to have a discussion about that life that they brought in this world. Now, that means if they can't do that, then you're a pretty selfish person. You're all about yourself, and there's no other way around it.
I
Because a
see.
lot of times you hear the mom will blame the dad will blame the mom. Everybody pointing fingers at one another, but neither are pointing the thumb at themselves because they are totally being selfish. Hey Russell, how you doing? What do you
Thank you.
say? Highlight that, Mr. King. What do you say? He said,
Yes, it says,
"Thank
my beautiful natural internet elders,
you."
aunties, much respect and love. Love to both you ladies. Keep giving us the wisdom and vision in this sector because we all crazy. I thank God for strong women like y'all raising us. Thank you,
Yeah,
Russell,
that's
for
true.
blessing the platform.
Yeah.
You
Hey
say we
Russell,
are, and you know what?
you
I
are
think it
crazy.
requires a little bit of crazy to be able to navigate in this world. I think we all need to be
Yeah,
a little touched, and particularly us in this sector, because
yeah.
yeah, that that tickled
But
me,
you know,
Laverne.
Russell funny. But you know something though, for real. I mean, it's don't get it twisted, Russell, because it's crazy in me. Don't get that twisted. I'm trying to tell you. I come on here and talk my shit to y'all, right? But it's some crazy in me too. But I try to make the crazy. I try to how you say subdue the crazy,
Yeah,
and I try to keep my emotions and stuff like that in balance. Let me see if I can move that. I don't know if I
I
can or
got
not. Yeah, I try to keep my emotions and things like that, and my emotions in control so that I don't get crazy. I've taught myself how to do that over the years. But at one time, you could say something to me, and I was a firecracker. And you talk about cuss, these cuss words these people saying on here, they like that's baby talk. Because when I'm just telling you the truth, the cuss words that I hear on here, the bitch, and all, that right there, that's baby talk. I'm here to tell you because, and I talk
you.
fast too. Can you imagine getting cussed out as fast as I talk? Because I can talk. That's my family fast. Listen, let me just tell you. But anyway, thanks though for the compliment, Russell. Let's look back to business.
Listen,
Back to
listen.
business. Yeah, but we all need a little crazy, got a little crazy in us though, for real, from time to time. Sometimes, how you say that, Mr. Keeman? Sometimes you just have to do what to a nigga? What you say? You said sometimes you have to show. You said it, Mr. Keeman. Like you know what I'm talking about.
I'm listen. I'm trying to connect the dots, but I'm slow
Miss,
right now.
you said sometimes you just have to step out and show her.
Oh, sometimes you gotta step out and show a motherfucker. That's
That
what I
what you
said.
said. That what you said. That
That's
old Mr.
what I
Keeman.
said.
That what
Absolutely.
old. Hey y'all, that's what old sweet Mr. Keeman had took and said. Told me one day on the phone we was talking. Lord, if I didn't
You
laugh,
see,
my stomach was sore.
you see how I laughed when you was talking about the cuss words, right? Because
Yeah.
listen,
Hmm.
I'm so tame now compared to, oh my God, 20
Telling you.
years ago.
I'm telling
Mama,
you.
I remember. So let me just say this. I gotta say this because my mama, she didn't tell me this until like I was much older, but I
Hmm.
didn't know this and I was cracking up. So when I went off to college, I was a sweet little innocent, sheltered young lady before I
Yeah.
went off to college, right? And
Hmm.
my 4 years I was away from home except for Christmas breaks and spring breaks. Even the summer, I would like go to one of my roommates' homes or I would find something to do for the summer, right? And
Uh-huh.
I remember coming home my freshman year, I had been gone 3 months. And I came home for Christmas break. And my mama told me, I think I was like in my mid 30s or late 30s. And she
Uh-huh.
said, we were talking and chopping it up. And she said, oh, she said, baby girl, she said, I will never forget. I had to I wanted to wash your mouth out with soap and my ears out with soap. She said, because when you came home, you went to college for 3 months. You came home, I didn't
Yeah.
recognize your mouth. She said every word you said was a 4-word. Now, see, I didn't cuss around my parents, but I had
Mm-hmm.
gotten so comfortable at school that
Uh-huh.
I would be talking to like my little friends on the phone or whatever. And of course,
Uh-huh.
she would hear me. And then when I get around her, I would try to switch it up, but then it
Mm-hmm.
started slipping. I was
She know you. She already
man,
knew you was a
listen,
customer.
my mouth was I felt I was so when
Good.
she said that, I said, why you wait so late to tell me that? I would have corrected it back then because it would have
Uh-huh.
shamed me, you know,
Yeah.
around my parents. But
But
no,
that
my mouth, I had a potty mouth. I really did. I went to
I
college and got
still cuss.
ooh,
I like to cuss. I do. I still cuss. I surely
I
do.
do now.
Because
I
my
do
daddy
now,
was.
but we people are shamed for doing it, especially when you're younger.
Oh,
I
oh, oh
couldn't say
yeah,
the
yeah.
word piss in my home. I remember I said
Oh
one
no.
time I told my mama, I said, I got pissed off when they said that. She said, don't say that. Now, coming from my mama, she cussed like a sailor too. That's where I got it from. But when it came to little old me, she was like,
Mhm,
don't say that. That's a bad word. I'd be like, how is
mhm.
piss a bad word? But you walking around here saying it.
But look, my dad, he was a cusser. My mama don't cuss. She don't. My mama, she don't like cussing. And so when she, that's why I be telling y'all when mama around, if she sees some of the videos, remember the video I made a couple of videos and I was cussing, and my mom saw the videos and she said, "Now listen." Now why you gonna cuss like that? You know you can use your words better. You know that you right. I said, yeah, mom, that's right, mom, you right. And then I think it was a couple of days later, my brother went down the way with his friends and pissed me off. And she calling me, worrying me because she worried about him. I got in that car and grabbed his ass, put him in the car, and I cussed him all the way back up the street. And I mean, I gave him the
I
I,
remember that day. That
you
wasn't
remember?
that long ago.
Let me tell you, I
Me
cussed him out so
too.
bad. And then I called mama when I got home. I said, hey mom, I said, um, I got Nolan and I cussed him out all the way home. I said, so you might see a video up here with me cussing. I said, just overlook it because I was mad. My mama said, that was good, baby. I'm glad you did it because she sure need to straighten up. I'm glad you did it. Now I can cuss to help her, but I can't cuss just to be. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I said she a trip. Selective cussing. But anywho,
Selective cussing. That's right.
yes.
That's right. I was trying to think of a word for it, but you got
Selective
it right.
cussing. But look, okay, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is a little bit off the subject. Okay, we got the subject pretty much. But look, let me tell you about this. I can and we talking about cussing. When something makes you mad or make me mad, when I get angry, when I really get angry and mad, I'm gonna cuss you. I'm gonna cuss you so good you gonna think you got a whipping. I'm serious. I'm talking about a grown person. I'm gonna cuss you. If that happens to fly, if I happen to let my emotions take over me, I don't care. You're gonna get it. Okay? You're just gonna get it.
Mhm.
And I can remember the time that my oldest brother came to my house, right? And he was working with this man. I told the story before, and he dead now. Y'all know my oldest brother. Y'all don't seen all the things that we went through. But look, Mr. King, he came to my house and he was working with this guy, and this guy had his own business and all this stuff. And he's supposed to be paying him that evening because he'll pay the guys in the day, like at the end of the job. And it was heavy work, it's bricklaying work and stuff. And my brother was always, he a brick mason, he could do that. Anyway, so he came to my house and he had his beer, that was his coffee. He had his beer. I'm just getting off from work. This is when I was working for the man. Then I didn't have my own business.
Hold on I gotta blow my nose, so I'm
Okay,
gonna drop
sure,
down,
sure.
but I'm still listening. So just give me a
Okay,
second. I'll be right back. Okay.
okay, sure. So he was working. So yeah, I was working for the man then. And both of my children were one of them was in high school in the ninth grade, and the other one, my daughter was still in elementary school, right? And so I had came home from work, husband, he was still at work and stuff. I came home from work, I was slinging pots and pans and, making the children get their homework straight and all that. And my brother came over and he was like, and my brother's kind of even killed, right? He kind of even killed, he cooled and everything. He kind of laid back. He don't like problems and stuff like this. So he came to my house with that beer and I was like, what's going on, bro? I could tell he was upset. He said, man, this man, he was like, you talking, calling the man names. He said, supposed to be giving my money, and I gotta wait for him to give me my money. He done paid everybody else off, and he didn't pay him. And it was big money too, right? It was a nice piece of change, right? Because it was end of the job that they did, right? So we talking about big money. And I said, well, call him and tell him, give you your money. He said he got me waiting and stuff and told me something. He got to go to the bank. And this like at 7:30 at night now, right, y'all? So look, I said, oh yeah? My brother called him and the man had to nerve to talk smack to my brother on the phone. Man, why you calling me, man? I told you I'm going to give you your money. And I heard the conversation. Now, this wasn't even me. It wasn't even me. And he did that to my brother. But he was on a speakerphone. When my husband came in, I said, uh, watch these babies for a minute. Cut that stove off for me. Me and Nat gonna take a ride, right? My husband was like, everything good? He said, y'all want me to come? Y'all good? I said, we good. I put my brother in my car. Let me tell y'all. my brother, my brother said, my brother told me, he said, I ain't gonna even worry about it. I'm gonna wait till them. I said, you ain't gonna wait for nothing. He gonna give you your money. I took that car, put that thing out. I had my brother in the passenger seat, rode up to the man's house, and I got right into his driveway. I told man, I saw his truck there. How about the man was in his driveway with the truck backed in, with the headlights is on you when you pulled up to the driveway? Look, he just sitting in the truck on his phone. So where my brother money at? You see what I'm saying? So I was like, go tell the man give you money. My brother gets out the car and he comes out of his truck and said, don't come no further down my driveway. That's what he told my brother. You know what I did? I took my car, backed it back up, and put it on the street. I called the police. And then the police supposed to be on his way. I knew the police was coming. And I got right out of my car, went down that driveway, and I said, you gonna give my brother his and you gonna give it to his wife opened the door. His wife gonna open the screen door. This is what his wife do. She opened the screen door. Know her husband wrong for not paying him. But I'm like, you can give him his money, right? So he wound up coming to the street to pass my brother the money. I said, yeah, you come to the street and pass him his money. And I did not come empty-handed either. I was ready for him. He peeled off my brother's money and we got the hell on. The police never made it to the house. That's the kind of person I am. When you mess with something of mine or something that I love, oh, we're gonna move some stuff.
We're gonna move something.
Move stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then when I got back home, when we got back to my house and my brother came back there, he said, brother-in-law gonna be mad at you, right? Brother-in-law gonna be mad. I said, he be all right. I said, he be all right. You get your money? He be all right. My brother peeled me off $200. My brother gave me two $100 bills for that. And he went over about his business. I got help about my husband said, everything good. I said, he got his money. I said, he got his money. I tucked my babies in, took me a shower, and took my fat ass right on the bed. Sure did. so, and I say all of that going to what Russell was talking about. We nice little sweet little old ladies now, but I'm trying to tell you,
It's
we
been a
don't live.
process.
So that's why we can tell you how to live it, right? We tell you. What you said, Ryder? She said my daughter asks every day who came up with cuss words and who said that they were bad, especially if adults and pastors stage.
Them be the main ones. The
That's a good.
main ones be the adults and the pastors.
Yeah, they can outcuss you for real. Yeah. So y'all listen. So what do y'all think, ladies and gentlemen? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about? Do y'all have any type of situation? I know y'all want to tell all your business on this jigamabob because people are all in your stuff. I know. But have you ever this? Let me see how I can word this. I want to know, have you ever had any daddy's home problems? Like daddy coming to the house and try to change the rules after you have rules in place. And this don't just go for the daddies. Sometimes the mamas too, because women also, well, dad is raising children too without, you know what I'm saying, without the moms present. I wonder if there any reverse, scripts.
Situations.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I wonder because you don't hear a lot about that. You hear mostly about the daddies, not, you know what I mean, doing that. You right?
Mhm. That's because the government, the system supports the single moms, but they don't
Mm,
give the single fathers the same type of support. So it's
yeah.
not as beneficial for the
Hmm.
fathers when it comes to seeking help. And if you're dealing with a single father home, just like a single mom home,
Hmm.
somebody got to go to work. Somebody got to take care of the responsibilities of two parents with a one
Yeah.
parent household. And at
Hmm.
least, that's how you know that there's an agenda.
Yeah.
Um, And the whole goal was separating the family, because if they really cared about the family unit and the family core, then it would
Mhm.
be equal on both sides. But it is
I think
not.
so
They
too.
just
I agree.
our men just get run taken through the ringer. And then
But
on top of that, they catch it from, the single moms that are bitter, that feel resentful for whatever
mhm.
reasons that it didn't work out, or maybe they
Yeah.
feeling like it's unfair that they get all of the responsibility or the majority of the responsibility. And then when you have some of the dads that they slack up on what they are responsible for with not being in the home, then it just makes it worse.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that and I don't know, I can't say that because well, I do know a couple of people that I think that they were hard on the single mom were hard on the dad. I
Mhm.
think that I know two people that would, in my opinion, was a little bit too hard on the dads because they would not only try to be there on the weekends that she would allow them to come. It wasn't always the same weekend either, and they always let them know at the last minute, right? She was that kind of person, like you can see them, but and when the days that she wanted to go out, let's put it like this: the days that she wanted to go out and all that kind of stuff and run with her girlfriends and stuff, she would allow the man to come. You see,
Mhm.
I knew people like that, and I thought that
Yeah.
that was kind of raggedy because don't get mad if he don't show up on the day that you want him to come. You see, so that
Yeah.
was causing a lot of problems too. And guess who paid the price for that? The children, because they
Children.
were looking forward to seeing daddy on the day that he said that he was gonna come. You see, so it's just really messy. I think it's just it's real messy. And another thing I want to say, I don't. Oh, hey, Mel W. I don't think that women should say that the daddy is babysitting children.
Oh, I don't either.
Hate
I
that.
don't like that.
I hate that with a passion. You mean
I
tell
don't
me
like
how
that.
you
Mm-mm.
babysitting that's your child too. So I don't like when they do that either. Or the women will say, "Well, the daddy he babysitting the babies while I'm doing this
He
while I'm running
watching
the
his
store." Yeah, yeah. What you talking about?
No,
So
he's spending time. You raising your kids, even if it's not on an everyday basis. When they spend quality time with you, why is it you watching them or babysitting them? I don't like that either.
I hate that. Look what Rachel say. Oh, y'all. Hey, oh, I dropped the link. Anyone, y'all can come up if y'all want to speak. If y'all want to talk, it's cool. I'm chilling today. Rachel,
Mhm.
yeah, that's funny, Rachel. Yeah, this real
And
life
I
conversation
love
though.
this. I call this hood conversation. This the conversations I have with a lot of moms and dads from my community. And you know what? It's
Yeah,
healing. I think that even if you don't feel it at that moment in time, just the fact that it's been put out there in the universe, it's been
yeah,
uttered, it's
yeah,
been brought from one person's lips to somebody else's ears,
mhm,
it's planting seeds. So even
yeah,
if you are not in a position to utilize it, or you don't feel it's relevant to your life at that
mhm,
point in time, that seed has been planted. So at some point, just like with anything else, you can draw from it and be like, you know what, now that makes sense. I do that every
yeah,
day, and I'm
mhm,
still, like my parents have been gone, and people that have been influential in my life and took time out to teach me that are no longer here. Things come full circle for me all the time years
yeah.
later.
But and I want to say this, Mr. Kim, I gotta say this. This little piece of hair is getting on my nerve. I don't know which way it's going. It just a fly.
This is like this little strap on me have been bothering me since I've been online. I be
A piece of
criticizing
hair.
women with their bra straps and stuff showing out. And here
Yeah,
I am, and listen,
it's getting on my
Linda.
nerve. But I want to
Okay.
see. I gotta say this, y'all. Look, I told Mr. Kima this. I had plans for the other day. I mean, I had my schedule all set up. I had a lot of stuff to do on the outside. Let me tell you. But none of that got done. And I'm saying all this to say it's hard to raise uh children. It's hard to
Mhm.
raise animals. Let me tell you what happened. Because they depend on you. Anything that depends on you totally depends on you totally for that care, for that love. I mean, for everything to feed them, just to take care of them. I took my dog outside, my little penny girl, and I always brush them and wipe their little paws before they come back in the house. And I found a little teeny tiny flea on her. one little teeny tiny flea.
I
And
remember.
you remember that? She's and Penny is like, y'all know, y'all seen Penny, little small little thing. When I found that flea on her, I was outside, brushing her and stuff. I had to wind up not only giving her a bath, but her two stepsisters. And it wasn't even bath time. It wasn't a month of bath. Anyway, I wind up doing that. But I already, and I had to wash clothes, my regular clothes, right, for the family. Then I also, after that, I had to wash all of that linen, the dog's linen, the towels, the bedding, all that little rugs, everything that they on, had to wash all that and dry all of that. Now listen, that was that. Then I had to take myself a shower after cleaning them because they're all over. You got dog everywhere, so you had to do all of that, right? Then it was time for me to do dinner for my family, right? Dinner while doing dinner. Oh, you scrubbing through the whole house and all this stuff. Listen, before I knew it, the day was gone, and I never made none of those. I never was able to make those appointments. So, saying all of this, say, anytime a dog or animals can, take your time up, don't think that children won't have as much time taken from you because it's something that you love, you want to take care of. And it's going to be time that you're going to have to just spend time with just taking care of them. And nobody owes you anything for doing that because they're
Right,
yours.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They're yours. They belong to you. If I was waiting for my husband to come here to take care of the dog, and listen, or my daughters to come and take care of the dog, I'll be waiting forever because don't nobody love something that belongs to you like you love them, like you can love them or take care of them. That's all I'm trying to say. Do that make
Mhm.
sense?
Yes, but I was cracking up because, and I know people like, what's she over there laughing at? Because I remember saying to you, ain't that something how something the size of a celery seed can
Yeah, that
turn
little
your whole household upside down? You
Lord
got
have
one
mercy,
flea, and,
girl.
and that thing
I went
dominated
crazy.
and dictated how your whole day went. Ain't that
Yes.
something?
And then which make the next day you have to double up on the next day. So not only do you have other things going on, you have to take care of what you didn't take care of the day before. So I'm
Yep.
just saying that's what happened with children and stuff like that that you have to take care of. So for the
Yes.
fathers, for the daddies that's not in the home, just know that mamas have a lot going on. I know you got a lot going on out in them streets. I know you fighting against the whole world, and especially the black men. I know y'all feel like the world is really not kind to you. And I understand it. I really do. I understand it because I don't see how it stumps you down, right? But you can't let it take you down so low that you can't take care of your next generation.
That
You
part.
can't let them stump you like that because you have something to live for, and that's those children. And you mamas, you single mamas, look, I know that daddy done did some things that pissed you off and all of that. He hurt your feelings, he crushed your heart. It was like a death going through some shit that he did to you, right? You might want to bury the man. You might want to bury the man in your mind because of the way he treated you. But listen, when you bury him, just remember your children mourns as well. So you're gonna have to think about that and have to suck some shit up just so that your children can be. I'm not talking about abusive and shit like that. I'm not talking about nothing like that now. Get rid of the niggas that's gonna be all this fighting and shit now. No, that's a different story. But I'm saying what you can tolerate, try to tolerate in order to get these children uh have a father in their life. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mel,
Absolutely.
Mel said
Mel
something.
Dub, I wanted to highlight his comment because that's what we was just talking about too, touching on when it comes to the court system. Miss Yo
Yeah,
brought up how does a system come up with a set amount of or percentage of child
yes.
support every month when raising a child is so much more complicated and involves so much more, right?
Uh-huh. I see Rachel. I'm adding Rachel. Hey,
Oh,
little
okay.
baby.
I thought I saw something. Hey,
There she
so
goes.
but
I see it. Okay, but go
but
ahead, Miss.
yeah, I got you. So it says the value of a man, unfortunately, according to the slave master courtroom, is determined by his financial contribution. But now the
Yeah,
father has to also be proactive and be responsible with the
yeah.
cooperation,
Mm-hmm.
prayerfully with the mom to at least make the environment amicable enough to for him to have a nurturing relationship with his children whenever he comes in, whenever he drops in,
Yeah,
whenever he does have time, to have that relationship and to invest into his children.
yeah.
As moms, we got to absorb a lot. We really do. We really have to,
Yeah,
like you said,
we do.
suck up some
Mhm.
shit. We really
Yeah, and
do.
you got to. For if you want, I'm telling you, sometimes you're gonna have to do that in order for your children. I mean, because children, I'm telling you, they're gonna resent you later on. I'm trying to tell you, later on,
Mhm.
them kids gonna resent you. They're gonna wanna try to understand. Well, why mama wasn't patient enough, or they can see your situation where it wasn't as bad as you said it is. Because you know
Yeah.
they don't see that until they get grown. Then they may get in a situation that be similar to yours or what have you. Then they can see. But while they're young children, because that's what we have to understand. The moms are the children's first God, the only God that they know,
True.
right? So, mamas, when you talk to these babies, they're gonna believe everything that you say about their father. If you're speaking unkind about them or good or lovingly about them, they're gonna believe you until the father shows them something different. That's it. So you just have to keep that in mind. So sometimes we gotta suck stuff up. Where you at, Rachel? I don't see you. I see you at the back.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
I don't see you up there though. Why?
Camera
Why?
on by any chance? If our camera's not on, I don't know what the
Oh,
settings
there
are.
she go. That it
Yeah.
just did it a few minutes ago.
Okay, let me see
Oh
something.
snap! That's how you gotta say. I gotta.
You can
Hold
no,
on.
you can take the camera off if you want to. You don't
It
have to
won't
have
let
it
me.
on.
If
It
we
won't
can
let me.
change
You
that.
can take
Hold
it,
on.
Look, see, it won't let me.
but we still can hear you. Can't we hear you?
Oh,
It's
I
not.
don't know. Can y'all hear me?
I can.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. My bad, my bad, my bad.
Hold on.
It's kind of low though.
I'm low. Hold on one
Yeah.
second.
Um,
Do I sound better now?
layout.
Yes, you do.
All right,
Yes.
my bad. I was a little far away
That's
from my
okay,
mic.
baby. How you doing?
I'm doing good, chilling, chilling, listening to these gems up here. Y'all speak. Yo, listen, when I feel like I'm in the hood right now, for real, for real.
Well, you gonna be in the hood.
Nah, but
Yeah,
you speaking
child.
some facts though. Listen, man. It's unfortunate though. Like you speaking reality. It's just unfortunate that we got some women out here that don't want that, right?
Mm.
I'm starting to hear a lot of men, right, pull a U on a lot of females, right? They're
Uh-huh.
getting tired of, the arguments, the fights in front of their kids, like. And it's crazy that some of them I've seen them cry because it's like my kid got to pay for this because I'm not gonna go over there. Like every time I go over there, it's not really about the kid; it's also about her. Like if I'm
Mm.
gonna give her money, it's gonna be for my child, but she wants this. While she got another man laying up in there. Like I'm
Mm.
sitting here, I'm like, yo, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? A lot of these men are starting to stand up for themselves the same way a lot of women do, and I
Mm-hmm.
give it to them. Like some of them are going taking them to child support, like taking full custody or half custody, partial custody, which whatever it means to be near their child. They're getting tired.
Yeah, well, Rachel, here's what I would suggest for any man that's separated from the children, and talk about the child support. Couldn't it be a thing wherein the man could, the mama could tell the dad what the child needs, and the father could buy the stuff and give it to the parent versus give the mom versus giving her the cash money? Can they
Even
do
in the
stuff like that?
you
Hey,
gotta
come
come
on.
to you gotta come to the hood, Miss Your Thoughts. You gotta come to the you gotta come to the hood. Because if a man don't got that cash in hand, sometimes some of these females, not all of them, I'm speaking in general,
Mm,
they won't even let the man see their child until they got that
that's
money.
crazy shit.
So
That's
I don't know if
crazy.
y'all have heard stories like that, but
I
that's some
have.
real stuff.
Yes.
It's
I
not
That's
fake.
have.
that.
It's real. I've
And
seen
it
it.
happens a lot more than it should.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
And
yeah. That's crazy.
it's
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
that's why I was like, it's unfortunate. Like I get like there's a lot of us females starting to like to wake up. That's why I said like if I would go by how a lot of my female friends that they used to be friends, I say acquaintances now, right?
Yeah.
If I would go by the way they think, I'd be
Mm.
lonely and miserable. I wouldn't have a fiance right now.
Yeah, that's really crazy because those sound like immature women and men and women, especially if they fighting in front of the children. And I don't
Mhm.
care how old they are. If they're doing anything like that, they're immature. They're not mentally mature because they're not thinking about nobody but themselves. They're selfish. That's it. They are selfish people. Straight up. Straight up. It's nothing no other way to look at it. You know?
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's how this hood is lately. I don't know if it's the welfare, the SSI is taking over. Because half these
Mm.
females that are doing this, half of them are, like I say it, like when y'all see me write these poetries and people like, you go through this. No, these are the stories I feel.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that a lot of these females that are sitting here fighting these men are
Mhm.
dependent on their child support and are dependent off the system. And like I tell females, I was like, yo, if you was to get taken off this child support and this man decides to take your child from you,
Mhm.
what do you have? Nothing now.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I told you this. They're selfish people because they're using, and some of them women use
I
the
gotta
money
answer my
that
door. I'll be
man
right back.
give them and don't spend it on the children. They spend it on themselves. I've seen all of that. Yeah, but I'm
Children
just
become
saying, it's
neglected.
a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the
Yep.
people that you're seeing, Rachel, I bet you the amount of money they seen that in their family. The same women that you're talking about, she can go back generations on people that that's broken families. So they're doing
Mm-hmm.
what they were taught. All this is not behavior.
Yeah,
You
that
see?
part. That part.
Yeah.
And the system that we live in doesn't help at all. It actually exacerbates and it makes it worse
Mm-hmm.
when you incentivize having children and you don't support the family unit, you don't support the both of the parents participating and being in the same household raising the children. So
Yeah.
they take it 5 steps further and say, okay, well, we'll give you a certain stipend or a certain amount per month, but
Mm-hmm.
the one main requirement is that daddy can't be in the home.
Oh yeah, I
That's
remember
a red
back in the day.
flag.
I remember when they did it in the projects. I remember because my grandmother, my mother's mother, had lived in the projects for like 23 years. And I told y'all the story. I don't know if y'all remember it, for 23 years. And she worked as a maid. But she had a neighbor that used to grow food in the projects out in the yard. And my grandmama grew food and flowers. But I remember when that came about, when they brought that law about. And all the women in the projects was getting rid of the shoes and anything that had a resemblance of a man being in the house. And they had inspectors come through the different projects units, the different areas, because we had like different courts. They call them courts. They would go through that at random times and go to people's house and everything to see if they had anything about the man in the house and check it off. They did that. I
That was
remember
around
when
like the mid 40s or 50s, right?
no, that wasn't no, that was like in the early 70s. That was in the
Okay,
early
we're
70s
going a little
when I remember
further.
that.
And some
Yeah.
guy went back all the way to the mid 30s and mid 40s, and I didn't even know it went that far back.
Yeah, but they stumped them projects, and that was in the early 70s because I was a young woman. I was a
Oh,
teenager. I was young. I was young. I was like, yeah, because I'm 62 now. But I remember because we was over at grandma's house, everybody outside playing in the we all playing over grandma's house. And these people come with their little suitcases and a man and a woman, and it was a team of them, and they would go through the different areas of projects just to go and see to make sure, and it was random. They didn't have no appointments or none of that stuff.
mm.
They would do that. Yeah, I remember that.
You know
Mm-hmm.
that here they do the like the check-ins, right? They got some people like, but they do it for housing in Section 8 now. They don't do the welfare. The welfare
Oh,
don't come
really?
and check in your house.
Oh,
Now
wow.
you see that, but you see it on housing in Section 8. Like if
Yeah.
you're applying for Section 8 and it's supposed to be this many people, they go and
Mm-hmm.
they make sure they inspect, like I think it's like two times or three times out of the week. I mean out of the month
Wow.
or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But
Mm-hmm.
you can't have, like, if you're saying you're a single mother with just two kids, they go and
Yeah.
make sure that you're a single mother with two kids.
Yeah, to make sure you had the right amount of bedrooms and stuff for your children. You
Mm-hmm.
can't get no apartments unless you had two children, a boy and a female. You have to have two bedrooms. I know they got all kinds of stipulations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and I worked for social service for a long time. So I know a whole lot of those rules and regulations. Uh-huh. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a shame that people are just willy-nilly having children, and then after the children get here, they cannot come to an agreement on how they are going to support or either raise those children.
But that has to do a
That's
lot
sad.
with what y'all was saying earlier, right? I feel as though, right, and I agree with what you said, right?
Hmm.
A lot of us jump into relationships without even talking. One, two, we just, we forget. I don't know if we forget or we just don't care that when you have sex, the consequences is a baby.
I
I
was
mean,
just ready to
Yeah.
say.
so you see where I'm
Just
coming from. So it's
ready to
kind of
say.
like,
That's what it's supposed to be.
I've had
What
females
happened to
say,
the condom commercials?
All
What
gone.
happened to? I mean, like, what happened to all of the education that they were issuing like in school classes or offering as electives
Yeah.
for birth control or
Yeah.
options for birth control that
Mm-hmm.
that don't
Mm-hmm.
that don't harm your body or that make you
Yeah.
sterile or
Yeah.
non-fertile when you're ready. What happened to this the education on the STDs? They don't
The
even
rhythm
talk about
methods.
sex no more. They just put on celebrities and all of
Yeah.
these proxies in front of us
Mm-hmm.
with no clothes on and talking about boy see, I don't listen to certain genres of music or certain artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when Kwame said, he said this all the time. He said the booty hole brown or something, the pink or something. And I'm thinking that is you got children out here repeating that, even if they understand or don't understand. But that is actually what they are presenting to our people as
Listen.
entertainment, and that is wild. But we can't get condom commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I want to say hey to everybody. Hey, Ray, how you doing? What's going on, Kevin? Thanks for stopping by, everybody. We appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
Salute to the
Listen,
chat.
you're
Salute
you're
to
right,
the chat.
Mr. Kimmy. You're 100% right because we used to have all those commercials out, but my mom always said, and I've told y'all before. My mama said to me, she taught us, if the child can say the word and they're old enough to say the word and ask you the question about it, it's time for you, mama, to answer it or daddy. Don't be
Very
all
true.
and don't do no. A lot of us do all this gaga googling and stuff. Tell them what the function is, why you got it. Tell them all of that. If they asking you questions, that's the time to start to talk to your children. But no, we're so busy assuming that they're gonna know what it is, and we're so busy allowing the schools in sex education to teach our children about our bodies
I
when that should
agree.
have been the first thing that we teach them.
I
But
agree.
we also need to stop making sex sound nasty and saying that like sex is a nasty thing. We ought to let
Mhm.
them know what sex is all about. Let them know it's to create. It's not for pleasure and leisure. I mean, it's for pleasure, but I'm talking about you don't leisurely do it. You do it to have a motive, and the motive should be creating children. That's the
Can
motive.
I be honest? Can I
Yeah.
be honest about something?
Yes,
I
please.
struggle with that. I struggle with that because I believe that the culture that we live in is so powerful. The message is so powerful with making it nasty that when it comes to the parents, but I agree with you, like catching it early, educating them early,
Yes.
starting at home are definitely solutions and keys to at least pointing them in the right direction and giving them some foundational judgment, right? But my thing is like it's like you're fighting a machine when you go to do that, and then as soon as they put the earphones in or they start becoming more able to navigate platforms, they're not getting the same message as the parents
Yeah,
are issuing the children. So
I
that's why
get it.
I struggle
Mhm.
with that mentally for me, not just for my kids, but
Yeah.
for me. So by the time I go to have these conversations with my children,
Mhm.
it's kind of tough to have because now it's been tainted in my own mind.
Right, I see what you're
Mm.
saying, but this is where I combated all of that shit. Let me tell you how I did that, Mr. Kimi. The same way my mom did it. I did it the same way that she did it.
Mhm.
Okay, yes, they're definitely going to see what other people say of what sex is. They're going to see the sexualization of women and men and all this stuff. They're going to see the candles for romance and all that stuff like this. But when you make stuff plain to a child, I mean, when you make it plain, I'm talking about not that goo goo gaga bullshit. I'm talking about like this. I had an Aunt Barbara, and she said when we were small, watch out for the three-legged man. Yeah, what the three-legged man? She was, I'm telling you, she was saying, let me tell you, she had us scared to death. What do you mean? The three-legged man. And then and as we got a little bit older, she could tell us a little bit more. But my mom had already educated us about it. That's just my Aunt Barbara's way. That's the way she taught her daughter. But my mama set us down. We had encyclopedias. It was called Life Cycles. And it was like 5 of those books in a little case. And it was my mother would sit down in the afternoon after she worked all day, after she slung pots and pans, you get your dinner there and all that stuff, and we would talk about it. She would ask you, "What did you see in school?" We said we seen the word DICK on the walls in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
In the words PUSSY. She said, "Well, what did that mean?" We would say the D and we would say the P word. We would tell her what it was. And she said, "Well, what do you think it is?" See, because children are smart. So we already had an idea what it was. We heard little other children talking because they had other places that they were raised and living, and their parents had different things. So we could give her an understanding of what we thought it was. My mother would break it down. She said, "No." She'll tell you what you had. She'll tell you the names of your organ. She would tell you all of that stuff, and she would make you learn that. She would make you learn your body parts. And my brothers had to learn it. And here's another thing that my mother did. Although it was two boys and two girls, my two brothers was older than us. My mother would tell my brothers, older brothers, about us having menstrual cycles. And you know why she would tell them? She would tell
Absolutely.
them. She would tell them because she know that she may be at work, and if she's at work, one of your sisters may have a cycle because they're getting up the age, and she would let them understand what it is. Ain't nobody gonna be bleeding, sick, and dead. My mother set us down and told us, and I think more people need to tell their children what's going on with their bodies before it start happening, and let them know what their body's parts are for, and let them know about sex, and let them know that you can get pregnant at that little age that you are. You may think you're a child, but your body said that you can have a baby. If we have more conversations, open conversations like this, than we have the television when they're watching TV or listening to the radio and they hear them using the wrong words, they can feel a little bit more educated. Well, you can look at them as being dumb because you know the proper words. You know the words that the doctors use. That's how my mama reversed that on us. I'm just saying.
They're the
Yeah.
real
You know
definitions
what?
of dumbasses.
Yeah.
There should have been classes on that. I'm just saying, like,
Yes.
because collectively, a lot of us didn't get that growing up. Like you
That's right, because my
said,
mama didn't get it.
even like when I was a child, even though
Mhm.
it wasn't in music, it was, you could hear the conversations, the adult conversations. You still went outside and played. And
Yeah.
so you would hear it amongst your peers or whatever about,
Yeah.
the nastiness of it all, how they
Uh-huh.
they kind of criminalized the act, and it wasn't just about procreating, it was about the effects of it, how it made you feel,
Yeah.
the possible outcomes, but I like
Yeah.
what Kevin Ellis had to say, saying, no more condom commercials, because that's not where the money is. It's not in the
No.
prevention, it's in after
Yes.
it happens.
That's right,
Yeah,
Ken.
there's some other options, and
Mm-hmm.
let's build up big pharma. Let's find out how to monetize and make more
Mm-hmm.
money off of the ill-informed and the uneducated and the non-disciplined
Mm-hmm.
participants to procreate.
Well, I want to say this real quick before I forget to say this part. All of you women thinking about trapping a man to have a baby because they're gonna keep him and they're gonna be there and you're gonna live as a happy family and all this stuff. Listen,
You're
forget about it.
misinformed.
It will never ever work. And it takes
You're
a lot to raise a
misinformed.
child. It takes a whole lot to raise a child. A lot of patience, a lot of
Mhm.
prayer, a lot of work, a lot of talking. You talk to my mom. Said she blew in the face. My Aunt Barbara used to say, when you get older after raising children, you look like a monkey in the face. That's what my mom always said. Because if you pour all your time and energy in your children, that's how much that's how much it takes and drains from you. It takes from you. That is
Yes.
a job. It's a 24/7 job. And
It
even when your children,
ages you.
yeah, it ages
Parenting
you.
ages you.
Yeah, if you're a
Definitely.
mama and you there, or a daddy and you there, and you are physically in their life, it will wear you out. I'm trying to tell you, if you do what you're supposed to do as a parent, and if you're not tired being a parent, then you're not doing enough.
Say it
You
again.
slacking.
You should
You ain't
always
doing
be
enough.
tired. You
You
should
ain't doing
always
enough.
be tired.
I don't
Period.
want
Yeah.
no more kids.
Huh?
I don't want
Mhm.
no more kids. I'm about to go buy a chastity belt.
I want to say this too. When you have children, knowing the situation is not optimal when you're bringing in, or like you don't start off with a strong family home set environment, both parents,
Mhm.
you do it for the wrong reasons, or you do it for reasons outside of creating, building, and keeping your legacy going, that is
Mm-hmm.
a form of child abuse, in my opinion.
Straight fact. I agree
Neglect
with
is a form of child
Yes.
abuse. You are
Yep.
bringing that child into a messed up situation. You
Mm-hmm.
had messed up intentions to begin with,
Yeah.
and you have just created and kept that generational curse going
And
for a
you're right.
whole
I
nother
agree.
possible generation.
And I got to
Well, you
say
ain't
this.
lying.
Oh, sorry, Rachel. Go ahead, baby.
No, I say you ain't lying. I know
Yeah.
somebody personally that's like that. Like they use the child, you know, as a tool to keep a man, and it
Mm.
backfired heavy.
Yeah.
Now this
That's
person
And the
out
crazy.
children
there.
suffer.
And you know something too? Y'all got to remember this, y'all. And I told y'all this before. When you have a child, when you have a children, if you think about it, they are the future. They are your afterlife. They are your born again. When you
Mhm.
die, you're gone. You're out of here
Facts.
physically. You're physically out of here. But if you have children, you have planted children. That means you live on. You live on through the children, man and mama and daddy. Both of y'all live on through that one seed, that one person, that one little human being that y'all created. And if it's a daughter, mama, that Y gene is there. You're going to
Mhm.
live on. You live on. Understand that. So when you don't raise those children the way you're supposed to raise them, feeding them the right foods and nurturing them in the right way, keeping them spiritually uplifted so that they could procreate, have more children after you gone, you won't live on. You're
Can I
dead.
add something to that?
Sure.
We also have to discipline and chastise our kids. I mean, I know it's hard now, the way they got these bills and these laws, these rights and
Yeah.
everything against the parents and the teachers and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But
Yeah.
what's crazy is right now, everybody thinks that rewarding the kid, even when they wrong, it is the way to go. Me, I'm against that,
Right.
right?
Me too.
Because I feel as though that my child has to earn it, right? Right now, like for
Hmm.
example, I'm going through it with my 15-year-old, just like other parents, right? Because even though I'm not single, I'm a
Hmm.
single mother when it comes to my boys because their father is deceased, and I do
Yeah.
not push my fiance onto my boys. You see where I'm coming from, especially with the way they miss their dad. They don't, sometimes
Yeah.
they get in their head. So I mean,
Yeah.
I let him sometimes when he has to get in, say what he got
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
They get disrespectful. I let him
Hmm.
step in. But I've also
Hmm.
noticed that when he does that, they get mad, right?
Yeah.
So, like for example, with my son, he got mad. He left to his godmom. I told him, I was like, you know what, keep his ass over there until he get it together. But then it's
Hmm.
like he's not staying over there. I'm going through it with him right now. I'm like, listen, first of all, you need to understand, I'm your mom. I'm
Hmm.
going to be hard on you. And
Yeah.
if you're getting mad at me, that means I'm doing my job. So it's like he's in his head right now because everybody's saying, oh, you 15, you could do this. I'm like, I get that he's 15, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, just because my son can cook, just because my son knows how to do this, yeah, I taught him.
Yeah.
I'm getting him ready though, so that if I'm not here,
Hmm.
he knows what to do, how to prepare, how to defend
Yeah.
himself. So they got him on this, like especially his grandma.
Hmm.
Um so now he thinks that, oh, I'm 15 years old. You got me my working papers. I'm like, listen, first of all, my house, my rules. I pay the bills. You don't know how to wipe your ass right to start off to sit here and demand and do. When you go out there, right, and you show me responsibility and you learn how to take accountability for your actions, right? Then you
Hmm.
could sit here and tell me, that you want to do this or you want to, be able to go there and bring whoever you want into my house. I'm like, until then, the rules stay the way they are. So we had a little bump in heads. So
Hmm.
everybody's like, oh, take him back. I was like, I don't mind my son coming back. I want him to come back. But the thing is, he has to abide by my rules.
Well, wait a
It's
minute,
not what
Rachel. Let
he
me
says.
hold on. Let me ask you this question. So your son is living with your
No, he's
godmother.
staying. He's not living. He's staying. Because
He's
it's like,
he's
I
who
don't,
is
I
he?
don't, I don't,
Wait a
his
minute. I'm trying to
godmom.
understand. Who is he living with? He living with you or the grandmother?
He lives with me. I got full custody of my kids. I ain't giving that up. But he's staying over there for right now because it's like he has to see for himself, right? Like for the past couple of weeks, he's like, "Mom, I need money." I'm like, "You want to be grown, right? So you have to deal with what I give you." Same way as when you was over here, because wherever you stay at, right? He's 15 now, able to get a little
Hmm.
job, helped him get his working papers, but you know, he thinks that he's grown now,
Yeah,
and
but I'm still
even
trying to understand why he over there. Just because he think that he's grown,
just
he's
because he
over.
think he's grown, yeah.
Well, why
just
he
because he
can't
think
think
he's
he
wrong.
grown in your house though? Why he can't think he grown in your
That's
house
what
and
I'm
you
trying to
tighten him
figure
up?
out. See,
Yeah.
the last time I got hard with my son, my oldest son, right? I
Mm.
had to end up getting the cops involved. Everybody got,
Oh,
everybody
it's
knows
bigger
about
than
that.
that. It's a whole
It
lot
gets
to it.
bigger than
Okay.
that because they took our
Okay.
rights away. I'm in Philadelphia, right? Just for
Okay.
screaming at your child, they will lock you up.
Oh
Just for
Lord.
screaming at your child. I mean, a lot of parents have gotten in a lot of situations now. I mean, I'm not the only parent that is going through it. That's why I said these are like hood conversations that you're having right now. A lot of us
Uh-huh.
parents get together, we talk about the situations, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like I tell them, I don't believe in hitting my kids, but I do believe in letting them learn their lessons. My son got to hit
Yeah.
his that wall. Whereas listen, it doesn't matter if you go to auntie, it doesn't matter if you go to grandma. You see where I'm coming from? At the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day, where you're
Mm.
gonna come back is over here, and you got to come back with an apology. Because what everything I told you was just for your best, for your for your well being. At the end of the day,
Well, let me ask you
and
this, Rachel. Let me ask you this. Let me just cut on in here now. I gotta cut on here. Well,
go ahead.
do you think that that your son may be rebelling
Yeah.
because you got a fiance?
It's more than that.
I mean, it may be more than that, but I'm asking you,
Yeah.
do you think that may play a part in that? Because we're talking about a boy child.
No, we're talking because you got to realize my fiance has raised this boy. His father has been deceased since he was 2 years old.
Yeah, but you weren't committed as far as I know committing. We look at commitment, but
No, no.
now
Hmm.
you going to talk about marriage.
You got
Maybe
me
something.
thinking because you're right. Because I did accept him 2 years ago, so it's kind of like, well,
You
damn, you got
understand
me
me?
thinking. Yeah, damn.
I'm telling you what it is. So you can think you can think about it all you want, but I'm telling you what the spirit telling me, and that's what it is.
No, you
It's
got me
because
thinking. Yeah, like I wasn't thinking about it like that before
yeah,
because it's like, wait. There was no
yeah,
problems before, no issues. Like this is
yeah,
coming about recently when his grandma started getting in his head about
yeah,
his dad passing away. He started getting
mm-hmm,
depressed, and I
yeah,
had to start telling my son, the story and everything. It's kind of like I don't want
mm-hmm.
to push it. You see where I'm coming from? So that's why in
Dude,
my situation with a lot of parents like, oh, whoop his ass. Dude, no, because that's gonna make him even more rebellious. You see where I'm coming from? I
I know
deal
what
with
you're
it a
saying,
little
but
different.
a lot of times children sit back and watch you, and they see what you do and all this stuff. And now that you're
Mhm.
talking about, even though that man raised that boy, helped you raise that boy, your son, now that was okay because y'all boyfriend and girlfriend. But now you talking about engaging and talking about getting married.
No, we
That
wasn't
means,
boyfriend and girlfriend until 2 years ago.
but you know what
We was
but
just
you
friends.
understand what I'm saying. You know
Yeah,
where I'm
yeah.
going with this. Children pay attention to all kinds of stuff, right? And it might be a part. Like I said, he's rebelling against
You're
that
the
part
first person to say that, yo. Real shit.
but I'm
Everybody else
telling
has
you.
been trying to.
But I'm telling you, that's what it is. It really
Damn.
is. But yeah, but everybody got things that they be going through, and
Mhm.
this too shall pass too. He 15 years old, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he
he
coming
trying
back.
to
He a
find his
mama's
way.
boy. He a mama's boy.
Yeah, he trying to find his way. Yeah, he trying to find
Yeah.
his way.
Because the last
But
time we spoke like 2 days ago, and he's like, "Mom, I'm just trying to figure myself out. Like I'm going through
mhm.
some things. I don't want you to be mad at me." He apologized, so
Yeah,
I
well,
know
just
what the next
stick
step
with them.
is.
Just stay with them because they yours, and you going through
Hell
what they
yeah,
going
I'm
through.
still with
Yeah,
the first one. Like that, like with my first one when I went through the incident, he's autistic, and with him
yeah,
was a battle because like I bring awareness with a lot of parents. It was the dark
hmm
web. So
yeah.
he has this thing with computers, and I was bringing awareness to who would have thought that the same thing I was bringing awareness to would have been knocking at my door, right?
Mm,
And good thing that I was bringing awareness to that type of situation because if not, I would have lost my son and never seen him again.
yeah,
So what that
yeah.
issue was, I got real hard with him. I took his computers and everything, and
hmm
they was trying to get him, from these chats in the games. He's real good at coding, so they was doing the encrypt messages. So
Yeah, yeah. Most autistic children have other special needs, but I have nephews that have special needs, so I know how that works. And yeah,
that's why I work with a lot
but
of social workers hand in hand right now. Like I'll be like,
yeah,
listen, I listen carefully to a lot of parents, and I
hmm
take a lot of advice, and I give a lot of advice. So
yeah,
listen, I'm
yeah.
not
With
a my bad.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just getting ready to say that I'm gonna get back. We kind of still on the topic, but I want to get back closer to it. But we still there. But you might want to still pay attention to, like I said, the 15-year-old is basically that he is feeling some type of way because you're totally committed to this gentleman, and and by him being the age that he is,
Yeah.
somebody's taking something away from his mama. You love him, but he don't love him like you love him. That's as simple as that. He love mama more.
Oh
That's
yeah,
how
I
that
mean, I
goes
love
with
my
the
boy.
boy
You know, he
children.
come first. Shit. He
That's
listen.
how that
Like I
works.
tell everybody, listen. That boy getting everything in my will. I mean, and it's not that I don't. It's that out of all three of my kids, he's the most responsible. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, but yeah, well, I'm glad that it's gonna work out. Everything gonna work out. Yeah. So what do you think, Mr. Keamy? I know you've been all
I,
on mute because
I believe that she believes that, but that doesn't mean that that is his perspective. He doesn't know that he is sharing. In
yeah.
his mind, you're not going to be able to convince him any different because
Uh-huh.
of your level of commitment
Mm-hmm.
to your man, right? And like
Yeah.
Miss Yo said, there's a certain level of comfort or reassurance when y'all are just, when you're not really applying a lot of labels to your
Yeah.
relationship.
And that,
But as soon as you start putting a label and an expectation upon your relationship with him, your children are paying attention and they're going to recognize it as, okay, now I got to share what has always been
Mm-hmm.
with
Yeah.
a man that is not biologically my father, or that he doesn't have a bond with like you do, right?
Don't mean he don't
So
love him. Right, Mr. Keamy.
you
Yeah.
know what's crazy? I think you helping me connect the dots because you know what? It's I've been unemployed for a year because I got into this accident, and one of the things he said to me 2 days ago was, he said he's gonna accomplish everything that he told me he's gonna do, and he's gonna come home and help me. He said that he knows I've been struggling for a year, and everything's
Mm-hmm.
gonna change.
Yeah.
I feel as though that my injuries also has affected my son a lot because I haven't been able to work or be there for him as I used to be.
can I
Yeah.
ask you a question,
I'm listening.
Rachel? One of the questions or the question that I have is, did you ever imply or tell your son, this one that we're speaking on, that he was a man of the house?
Mm-mm.
Never. Did he ever feel the need to have to step up as the man of the house, whether you said it or not, because there
No.
was a lack of a presence? Maybe like I said, you and your current
I
fiance.
I noticed that I think like that's what I'm saying. I'm starting to see what y'all saying because
Yeah.
when I got down, the my fiance is stepping up a lot more for my daughter, and he
Mm-hmm.
only takes the help that I let him give me. So, which means it's a little less for my son because I work for everything they get. You see where I'm coming from, and I don't really take the help. And even though he fights with me, that's one thing that I still have a problem with. Like even with my first relationship, I like doing things myself. And at times I
Yeah.
just get in my bag. So it's like, all right, I've been out of work for a year. You've been doing everything. I don't want you to do more than what you're doing.
But
Like
see,
that's my
Rachel,
child,
stop
my
right there, baby.
responsibility.
But stop right there, baby. Don't never that's one something you gotta know. One thing about it is don't never not take help from a man that you're in love with. Never not take help because that's how he's showing how much he cares for you. So never tell a man not to do if he's willing to,
Hmm.
right? Okay, so that's one thing. And then get back to your son. Although your son have not said this to you, or you've never said that he was the man of the house, or he's your little man of the house, you don't have to say it. Why? Because he already think that anyway. Because I can remember my husband one time working night shift, and I have a son and a daughter, and my son took on the role at nighttime to make sure all the doors and windows are locked to protect me and his sister because dad was working night shift. Ain't nobody tell him to do that. They take on roles like that.
Oh shit! I never even thought about it. See, I've been doing this by myself
Hey,
for so.
boy.
Ain't my baby pops gives me the same advice that you're giving me, Ms. Your thoughts. That's the crazy part. But I'm hearing it from a woman, in the like not every woman tells me the same thing. They usually just the advice
Yeah,
they give me is like, if I do what you tell me to do, my kids are gone. You see where I'm coming from? So
yeah,
it's kind of like
uh-huh.
this has been the first advice that, and I could pass it forward with to other parents that are having the same
Yeah,
situations. Like
yeah.
I was just having a conversation with a father that's going to court right now. He's a single father. His son is being rebellious. And he was like, damn, man, my hands are tight. I'm tied up right now. I didn't want to take it this far. I was like, damn. And, our kids are getting like that. And like I said, I'm rebellious, like you said. He figured it out too. Like he's doing this by himself, and I'm guessing that when we get in relationships, our kids feel some type of way, especially when it's been us and
Some
them.
type of way. Of course they do. And they don't love the person that they don't. I know you said that man was there, he raised them and all that stuff like that, and that's not his
They
dad.
don't. That's why I don't push my. I don't be like that because I seen what
Yeah.
happens with other relationships.
Yeah,
So
I'm
it's
just
kind
saying
of like
they care about them, but they don't love they care about you because they know
mm,
you mama. And they know mama's there all the time.
that makes a
So
whole lot of
yeah.
sense.
So just all
I
thing
need to
you have
share
to
this
do.
live so other moms and the other dads can hear this, especially these single dads out there, because there's a lot of them.
Well, yeah, what you should do, and I'm giving you this advice right here, and I'm gonna let you go on this one because I mean we're talking about still children and all that. But if it were me, and if I was in that situation, I would really sit down with my son and tell him and let him know that he's always gonna be your little man, and he's always gonna be, even though you're gonna have this other relationship, and you trying
Oh
to
yeah,
get married,
we
huh?
had it. We had it. That's why he apologized and everything. Like we had it. He really sat down and told me a lot 2 days ago. That's why I says like he took the
No,
first step.
Rachel, no, I ain't talking about like that. I'm talking about let this young man, let your son know that this gentleman that you're marrying is not replacing him or
Yeah.
none of that. I'm talking about
Yeah,
that type of conversation.
yes, we had the
Okay,
conversation. Yes, yes,
okay,
yes, yes.
baby.
Yes,
Yeah, well, that's
ma'am.
good. Yeah. Well, you should be all right then. Just let him go on, get rid of them, get them
Yeah, I'm
growing
not worried
pains out
about
the
that.
way.
That's why I say, listen, he with his godmom. Like, even though sometimes I
Yeah,
feel like
he
his
good.
godmom need to grow up sometimes, my son
Yeah,
said, I have a support system. That's the whole point of the story. I have
good.
a support system. So
Yeah,
it's like, even though when my fiance can't step in a situation like this, boom,
yeah,
godmom's in the picture. Across the
good.
street, I got my old head. She raised me.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
good.
the support system that helps me out. And a lot of parents don't have that. That's why I was like, yo, I need to share this live because you have been spitting a lot of gems throughout this whole life since y'all have started, both you and Miss Akimi.
Well, glad we could help. Just like I said, if one person can hear what we saying when it comes to stuff like this, then and we help somebody, then that's really
Yeah, this
cool.
joint need to go further than YouTube. I need to share this on
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram. So yeah.
Yeah, but I want y'all not to stop. I know we got all these different laws and rules and regulations when it comes to raising children and all that kind of stuff. As far as how they tell you what you can do, what you can and can't do with your children.
X.
One thing you can do is sit down with your children and talk to them about what's going on with them. Always be available to hear what they have to say to you. And stop rewarding them, giving them allowance money for not doing nothing.
Thank
Meaning
you.
just going to school. Don't pay them for going to school and doing their homework and giving them allowances and all that. Make them earn their keep. We got too many lazy little children running around here watching TV, just going to school, coming home and cutting on that television and getting into those computers and playing those games. Get them
Mm-hmm.
children outside, make them rake some leaves, make them do some work around the house, wash baseballs. They're never too young to take care of that house and keep their bedrooms and stuff surroundings nice. Find something for them to do. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. Make
Yeah.
something move and make sure that they moving that ass. That's my advice. Now, how about that? Hey, Polo.
Listen, just the other day, you know what's crazy? Just the other day, I ran across it was two moms, right? And I'm sitting here, I was like, "What y'all do for a living?" We play
Yeah,
video games. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Her and her son." I'm sitting here, I was like, "That's what y'all do for a living?" I'm like, "Is you serious?"
video
Some of
game.
these parents, listen, my whole point. Some of these parents is the reason why these kids are lazy too, though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
They're
well,
not raising their kids, they're maintaining their kids.
and let everything else raising them. Ain't it, Mr. Kim? The TV and everything else raising them, right?
These things right here.
Yeah. And another thing, you don't raise kids, you raise animals.
it,
I don't. You don't raise kids, you raise animals. You take care of kids. You provide for kids. You don't raise. You raise animals. So that's what y'all are raising animals when you let them do all that crazy stuff. Keep
Mhm.
kids on a schedule. Keep them on the schedule, y'all. Keep them on the schedule,
Yeah.
and don't be scared to talk to them about sex openly. Talk to
Mhm.
them. I don't care if they start pointing and asking questions. Tell them, and if they don't ask questions, talk about it in a way. Because I remember having a conversation with my son when he first started talking about it. He was, oh, Mom. I said, what you embarrassed about? Look, sit in here, boy. This is this and this and this and this and this, and watch out for that gal. That's what I did. Now
I
you
Yeah.
love
got
that.
it.
But it sounds like, you have some tools that you're exercising to kind of facilitate the healing process with your son. Just keep the line
Oh,
of
yeah.
communication open, and
talk about everything.
it's going to, trust me, this is a tough age. This is a
Yeah.
tough juncture, especially when you have boys that have been dealing with single mom households for, now you got the added dynamic of the relationship. However, it will work through itself, and it will work itself out. Just, keep on the course, and stay prayerful, and stay in touch, and stay in communication with him, open, honest, transparent, and straight up, and you will get through it. You will definitely get through it. But Michelle, I gotta go soon.
Okay.
I
All
don't
right.
mean to
Thank you, Mr. Keith.
cut myself short, or to cut
No, we've been here for a
my
minute.
participation short, but I just wanted to let you know, that I don't know how much
Yeah.
longer you wanted to go on the live, or if you needed me, but I definitely I listen. When it comes to Daddy's Home, we really have to. It's a multi-dimensional situation.
Yes.
And it's not a one size fits all. That's where we
No.
come into a lot of problems too, because every situation is different, every dynamic is different. People come
Right.
into it with different reasons and different, purposes.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, I always say default to the welfare and the best interest of the children. Once you have
Yeah.
children, it is a wrap about what it is that you want. You
Mhm.
don't come first anymore, at least not until that child is successfully launched out into the real world and is able to navigate and have been given the tools, the resources, and the ability to be able to function if something happens to you. That should be our primary goal when it comes, and love them through it all. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to be without hiccups. You're not going to go through your situations without problems, without feeling like you don't have solutions, but everything will pass. Everything will work itself
Yeah.
out in the way it's supposed to. But
Mhm.
are you going to be able as a parent to sleep at night knowing that every day you wake up, you give what is necessary and let God do the rest?
Facts.
Yeah. And before you, and yeah, I thank you for coming, Mr. Keema. I appreciate you all the time. You're good. But look, I want to say this right here. When you talk about when we talk about daddy being home, listen, if we women don't be so free cock molly, free willy nilly, jump in the bed anytime somebody tell us we beautiful, we got a fine ass, and we got this, that, and the third. If we stop doing all that quick fast, and a hurry shit, and get a man an opportunity to court you and get to know you, and you know his family and all that before you start laying down, we ain't got to worry about daddy going nowhere. Daddy will always be at home.
Daddy.
You did?
Come on.
Yeah, so keep daddy at home the right way. All
That's
right,
what you
now.
call a solution.
Yeah, let's go. All right, y'all. So look, we're gonna talk later because I think that was a mic drop.
Mic drop.
Yeah. So look,
I
y'all,
like
I'm gonna
this
see y'all.
dude, yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, for stopping through. I appreciate everybody coming. Look, y'all have a wonderful evening. I'm gonna see y'all on these streets somewhere. I might drink me another little libation. But thanks for everybody. I appreciate it. Hit that like button on your way out, and y'all will see you later. Bye, ladies.
Yeah, listen. Thank you, Rachel. Y'all have a
All
great
right,
one.
you too.
Salute to the hostess. Salute to
Thank you.
the Rachel that hit the panel. Salute to the chat. Thank you to
Yes.
the mods.
Appreciate
Appreciate
everybody.
those that have been here. And if you haven't touched that like button, do it so on your way out. Memberships are available for Michelle Thoughts.
And
as a
Mr.
method
Kimi.
of support. Yes. Thank you for the super chat, Russell
Yes.
Red.
Thank you,
And
Russell.
check your Cash App before you go. Make sure you don't have nobody to thank for your Cash App.
I don't never do that, do I, Mr. Kimi?
Shout out to,
I
we got Miss Lethal that is
No.
a member. Nope. Okay, we got Daryl
No.
Gray. If he's
Hey.
still in the bushes, that's a
Hey,
member. We got
that's the
Salaya
Daryl.
Benya as a
Yes.
member. If he's
Yep.
still in the bushes, and if I missed
Yes.
anybody, peace and blessings.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you
Bolo
so
here.
much.
Bye,
All
y'all.
right, then.
See y'all
Bye.
later. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Peace.
So be it.